Hello, good evening, everybody, and this is Sunaina once again. I'm back on my channel, and this time it's been quite a while since I have done a reading again for the Divine Masculine. So I'm going to do a update on the energies of the Divine Masculine from December the 7th until the 17th of this month 2018. And of course, in the meantime, I will also try and do another update on the twin flame reading as well, which will be a cross check between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, their energies together, as I have done once, or I think more than once, maybe 2-3 times before as well, not being able to clearly remember as to how many times I've done that. But nonetheless, we will do another update as we go along the way. But for now, we will do the divine masculine, and this time I have spread out, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks here, and I have started with my love angels to see what the divine masculine's love guidance is for all of us. Okay. So again, ladies and gentlemen, take what resonates and don't force yourself into the reading to fit into the reading. If it doesn't suit you, it is not for you. But if it does, please take it and run with it and enjoy the reading as much as I love doing this for you. This is my spiritual work. I really love this, and I do this as a passion, as my hobby, and of course as a way of helping my community, people who are out here in this world who would love to listen, hear, take guidance from whatever my spirits, my angels, and my guides tell me here. Okay, so the cards that I'm shuffling right now, I'm going to use this deck as a clarification, as a clarifiers. So I'm just kind of shuffling them. I've shuffled them before as well, but I'm just doing a final shuffle, and I'm going to cut the deck in here to get into the reading as we proceed into the middle of the month as we go along the way. Okay, so yes, so here it is, all done. Now, as I said, I have the divine masculine's love guidance, his higher self, his mental space, his heart space, and then we have the 3D energy here for the divine masculine. Okay, so what I see is what I'm going to tell you. As I've said before, it's not up to me, whatever I'm given, and that is what I see, and I tell you that. Okay, so let's jump into the reading, and I'm going to tell you about the bottom of the decks as we go along from here. Now, with the love angel cards, I have 4 beautiful cards in here, which is talking about the twin flame, absolutely the twin flame in the heart of the divine masculine. So it is in my understanding, when I see these cards here, the 4 cards, I'm going to show it to you. It is in my understanding that the divine masculine has woken up to the call of the twin flame journey finally. Okay, for so long, in my understanding, what I understood is that the divine feminine had always known about it, or they were aware of this journey. But as far as the divine masculine was concerned, for so long, I had kind of my doubt as to whether he totally knew about this journey. He could have been subconsciously aware of this, that he probably understood that this is not the run-of-the-mill journey for him. But as far as, like I said, as far as knowing what the spiritual journey is all about, he has finally woken up to the call of the twin flame. And that's in my reading, in my understanding, when I see these four beautiful cards in here. Okay. So it's finally, one thing is very clear out of all the things that has happened for so long. The divine masculine has finally accepted the fact that this is not a, like I said, run of the mill kind of a situation, but it is a far bigger and more powerful journey in his life as well. Okay, that he has finally accepted. He is understanding, he has woken up to the reality. He's like smelled the coffee kind of a situation here. Okay, so now one thing that I said, he knows about it, okay, which is damn good for the divine feminines here. Okay, so to start off with, the first card is attraction here. Okay, and this is a beautiful card as well from my love angels. It says, you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Okay, that's a completely romantic card for me. Okay, where again, as I said, he has woken up and is smelling the coffee. You know, a call to the wake up reality of his journey here. The second card is a heart to heart conversation here. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay, now again, in my understanding, for so long, the divine masculine, like whatever I have seen through the energies that has been crossing for this period of time, or from the past period of time, whatever it is, he has been hiding a lot of things, you know. And then again, I said that he has not perhaps been doing it intentionally, but again, unintentionally too. You know, he was scared of telling his divine feminine or even accepting the reality in himself. You know, he forget about the divine feminine, forget about him talking to the divine feminine or telling her what he feels or what he thinks or what he understands. He did not even have the courage to do that even with himself. You know, he was not talking to even himself. So that's the reason why there were a lot of things that he knew, he understood, he could feel it, but he had no way of communicating that because he was scared. His ego, his pride, his self-belief, his own issues were coming in the way. Okay, but now is a time, because I said he has woken up to the reality. He can no longer hide the facts for way too long. You know, there is a certain amount of time you can put the veil in front of your eyes and keep your eyes covered and let the world know that you are not looking. You pretend to be blind, but in reality you are not. You pretend to be deaf, but in reality you are not, you know. So you cannot be mute about your own feelings all the time. So now it is coming to the point where there is attraction for him, you know. He's understanding that this person, the divine feminine, is a lot beyond the probably the physical aspect or the lust or the sex or anything that he probably was or had been thinking of, you know, for this period of time, is now giving way to more emotional understanding of that particular feeling towards the divine feminine, which is bringing forward his intention, his clarity, his thoughts, his understanding, his, being secret is not helping the situation in the twin flame journey as well as for himself, you know, that he cannot anymore cover the truth which is completely naked in front of people's eyes or even in front of his eyes, you know. So now is the time going forward or moving slowly into the month of December. He will try to erase those, to keep those kind of negative aspects out of his brain, out of his mind, to really come forward with the truth and have a heart-to-heart conversation with his divine feminine. That is where he is proceeding and going towards, because now, again, as I said, he knows this divine feminine is his soulmate. She's not going to judge him. She's not going to mock him. She's not going to make fun of him, or kind of criticize him for doing what he has been doing for so long. She's not going to judge him for his actions, but what she's going to do for him is she's going to stand beside him and guide him. That's what she's going to do, because like I said, she is she has woken up to this journey a long time before, and that's why her vibrational levels, her vibrations, her energy levels are way up than the divine masculine, who is now catching up with her. Okay, so that is the reason why he is now getting the facts clear, that this person is not going to make fun of me because she is my soulmate. She's not going to judge me because she is my soulmate. She's not going to criticize me because she is my soulmate. What she is going to do is she's going to become my strength, my support, my pillar in this, where she's in that level, that in that position where she can actually help me, guide me, make me understand, and make a better person out of me, basically, by solving issues, by understanding, by doing what she has to do, because in his love space there is a reconciliation of this particular journey that he is now coming to terms with. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So he knows that this person now is the twin flame or the soulmate or anything which is not in the normal sense that you don't find in the physical world. This is a 5D contract that is happening today in the 3D. Okay, so this is where the divine masculine is understanding, and that's the reason when I looked at these cards right as they flew out on my table from the deck, I was absolutely elated, because I understood that this person, the divine masculine, had been suffering from this kind of a feeling of whether he is, he's getting the facts right. He knows that somewhere beyond and above there is something else that is connecting both of them, but he was not on that higher energy level to understand the spiritual contract that's happening, that's manifesting in the 3D here now. Okay, so now finally, ladies, he is waking up, or has already woken up in parts and pieces and parts and whatever, and like a puzzle, things are connecting to his soul and to his mind and to his heart of this particular journey, and he's getting, it's like a story being complete. He's getting the facts right finally. Okay, that's good news for every ladies here, for the divine feminine who's listening out to me. You guys can be assured that now he has finally accepted, known, understood what this kind of a journey is all about. Very nice. I just loved it when it came. Now, in his higher self, what I see that he's trying to leave all this, whatever the situation is happening in the 3D, in the mental health, whatever, wherever the situation is going for, not working for him, basically, whatever he has been going through for so long, for this period of time, he's moving away in his own way. Okay, he's slowly leaving those issues behind. He's leaving that failure behind. He is kind of disconnecting himself from those issues. Now physically he might not be able to cut off totally, because he might have responsibilities. He will have to fulfill them in the 3D. He will have to take care of whatever issues or circumstances that is prevailing in his life, in the physical world. But as far as his higher self is concerned, he is letting that go. That is moving away. Now, this movement in two ways. It could depict actually a physical movement where he wants to leave things and kind of move away. That could be a physical movement. Or because this is a higher self card, I would like to interpret this as he is leaving everything behind in his higher self to walk away from these kind of issues or from those kind of issues in the past that did not manifest any result for him, that did not give him any fulfillment, that did not bring in any happiness in his life. Okay? And what is he moving towards? Ladies, what is he moving towards? He's moving towards building a foundation and achieving that particular beautiful atmosphere, environment where it's like the Four of Wands energy here. Okay, that's this card for me. It's card number 4 again, and that's the Four of Wands energy for me. Where there is stability, there is joy, there is happiness, there is fulfillment, there is constant flow of goodness in his life. So leaving all that in his higher self, he's moving towards a better stable, a better prosperous, abundant future. And that is happening because at the end, like I said in the love card too, the truth is visible to him. Now this truth in the higher self is again the truth of his love. That is what I just said. His acceptance of this journey, his understanding of the twin flame connection, that's one truth. And the second truth that he has come to terms with is that whatever has been happening in his life for so long, that he has no control over that anymore. Okay, he has no power to change things anymore. So whatever things have gone wrong in his life for this period of time till now, he has come to terms with that fact as well. And that is the reason he is getting things in the right perspective, because he has learned, he has understood the truth of his love, he has understood the truth of his own self. Okay, where he had gone wrong, what he had gone wrong with, what had he done so wrong. Okay, the lessons that has come to him, the learning part of it. So all those truths, the deceptions, the masks, everything that he has seen being uncovered in this period of time is the truth. So this truth is everything in totality. That's how I would like to say it. This is just not truth in one aspect. This is truth in many aspects, okay, in many folds, which has now surfaced and has come to the surface in such a way that he is now able to see, hear, feel, understand everything that he so far had been kind of rejecting or pushing away. Okay, so that's again a very, very important news for all the divine feminines here who is listening out to me here. Okay, and this is in the topmost self after his love here. Okay, now in his mind space, guys, in his mind space, he has the death card here. Okay, and death is always about ending one situation, beginning something new. Okay, death of any situation, death of any circumstance, anything, any issues, because again, if you look, the truth has come out. So therefore the mind is calling out for this, because the mind is not supporting what had been going on in his life for so long. Okay, so now because of the truth, the acceptance, the reality, the wake up call, his mind is calling for death of those situations. And that is the reason in his higher self, guys, he is leaving everything and moving away slowly. Okay, that's because his mind is calling for death of those situations. With the help of the Queen of Swords, he is cutting it off. He's cutting those situations off that is not no longer serving him, that is no longer manifesting any results for him, that is no longer giving him any happiness, that is no longer bringing in any kind of fulfillment in his life, you know. So, with the help of this figure here, the Queen of Swords, he's cutting those things and putting an end to all those situations that is not getting him any rewards at the end of this. This is his mind space, okay? So in his mind, he's got that sword in his mind, you know. So anything that is not serving him, boom. Anything that is not making him happy, boom. Anything that is not manifesting any result, boom. Any relationship that he's been holding on that is no longer serving him, okay, he's slashing it away. He is slashing it away. Okay, so that's his mind situation. After which he is kind of building himself up. Okay, because I had said this once, I think in one of the videos, that for who I don't remember, but it was said that I had said it, that if you don't let the negative energies go from your mind and spirit and body, you won't be able to welcome the new energies. And that is exactly what is happening to the divine masculine here now, where he's cutting off the negative energies from his mind to welcome himself back into the reality. And that's again because of the higher self of truth that has now come into focus. Okay, he is putting time and effort towards himself. He's building himself up. He's working for himself. He's working towards giving time for himself. He's working towards appreciating his own effort. He's also in the process, he's also learning to appreciate those he had not appreciated for this period of time. You know, that includes the divine feminine. Okay, so he is learning to be kind. He's learning to be generous. And although this card in the tarot world says that it's talking about finances, which is true, that he is working towards building up finances, may be a part of it for sure. But at the same time, from the spiritual side, he's also learning to build his own self up. Okay, and that he's doing by reciprocating his own wisdom with that of the divine feminine, with kindness and generosity, in appreciation, in understanding what she is all about, what she has been doing for him for this period of time, or who she in reality is. Okay, so that is the kind of mental structure the divine masculine is now embodying in himself. Okay, and that is also happening because he's becoming a spiritual teacher too. He's relying more on spiritual guidance. He's relying more on the spiritual aspect in his life, in the mental space. Okay, he could be holding on to some traditional belief and understanding. He could be holding on to those mental energies that, you know, he cannot just leave in the physical world. He just cannot he cannot discard those people instantly and walk away, because after all, you know, he has that commitment towards them. He has that he has the obligations towards them. Okay, that's the word I was looking for. But at the same time, he is also instructing his own self in understanding this particular journey and his divine feminine in this respect. Okay, where she has come from and why she has come into his life. He's looking into the spiritual aspect of having her in his life, because now he is learning to appreciate himself as well. Okay, for all the hard work, for all the things that he has been doing for so long, and where in return he probably did not get that reward. Nobody had appreciated him, nor himself, nor himself. So therefore now is a time he's doing this by getting into the mode of the Hierophant, who is always a teacher, with of course strict codes and of do's and don'ts and things like that. But in this particular mental space, that is there. Don't get me wrong, that particular sense of decorum is there, but at the same time, this card, along with these cards over here, is telling me a little different story in the mental space of the divine masculine. Okay, so that's him, and therefore, he knows that it is not easy to protect what he's building up right now. It's going to be a lot of work for him too. Okay, because for so long he has not been getting the facts right, but now that he's getting the facts right, he's also started defending this relationship by himself. He's defending himself, he's defending his divine feminine. He's not going to let her enter into the rut of the situation, where he is already sitting or he's perhaps going through. He's defending her position in his life. He's defending his relationship with her. He's defending his love with her. Plus, he's defending this journey. He's defending himself in the mental space, that what I want is what I will finally get. Okay, I'm not going to succumb, I'm not going to bend down, I'm not going to let myself go just because of certain situations that did not yield any result for me in the past. Okay, so that's all going on in the mental space, and for which I'm going to ask for a clarification. Why he's defending, it's because he still has a lot of issues that he needs to take care of. Okay, so he knows that, he just like I said, he knows that in the mental space, if he could, he would have probably just taken off, but he's not being able to do that because of these issues that is persisting in his world at this point in time. But at the same time, these issues are there, but he has taken that stand to fight against those issues by doing what he has to do, just like I explained at this point in time. Okay, so that's a good energy. I'm happy, in the mental space, ladies and gentlemen. He's waking up. He's waking up, ladies. Okay, that's what I can see in him. I can see the vibrations. I can feel the vibrations from these cards in here, and that's a very good thing. Now, in his heart space, look at this now. In his heart space, in the mental space, his first card was death. In his heart space, the first card is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that means in her heart space, he wants everything to move now. Okay, he's tired. Sorry. He's tired of waiting. He's tired of playing the waiting game. He's tired of doing what he's doing for so long. He just wants the Wheel of Fortune to move for him now. And to move for, not only for him, to move for the divine feminine, to move for this journey, where he can gallop like the horse 2 steps faster to reach his point of destination. He really, in his heart space, he is, what should I say? He is kind of turning the Wheel of Fortune, and plus he wants the universe to help him to turn the Wheel of Fortune. And let's see, by leaving the grief behind. Okay, he doesn't want to grieve anymore. He wants to sail away. He wants to move away. He wants to get into a better frame of mind. He wants to go far and beyond all these areas of unhappiness, not being fulfilled, of his sadness, of all the things that has been happening. So that's the reason he is calling to move the Wheel of Fortune in his heart, so that he can really get, clear all this way and move. That's what he wants to do in his heart space. And at the same time, in his heart space, he's learning to open up his intuition, guys. His intuition had been talking to him for quite some time, if I'm not mistaken. And this is still talking to him in his heart. He's learning to listen, hear, understand the intuitive voices that had kind of not been there for him for a very long period of time. But now things are changing. Things are changing, guys. I can feel that, okay, from these cards over here. And it's beautiful that these cards are coming up in the heart space too. It's a major arcana of the High Priestess, going through the light and dark, knowing the truth, accepting the truth as he has done in the higher self, getting the wisdom right, getting the facts right, getting the understanding, the knowledge over ignorance right. Okay, that's in the heart space, and that he's been doing because, again, in the heart space, like in the mind space, he has the King of Sword energy. Okay, and the King of Sword, this card is like the King Solomon card, very spiritual, but at the same time very clear, very honest, very decisive, brutally honest, cutting through the absolute facade of life. That's the kind of energy in the heart that the Divine Masculine is holding for this period of time in December, where he, along with the help of his intuition, is being able to cut through, like in his mind space. He is the Queen of Sword energy that is cutting through all the bullshit. In his heart space, he has the King of Sword energy that is again slashing away all that is not working for him. Okay, that is not working for him. Beautiful. Okay, now in his heart space, he has also, this card has come to me in reverse. Okay, he's also stopped that feeling of being left out in the cold. That has happened in the past, but now that feeling, if that's coming to him at the same time too, he's not absorbing that energy of being left out in the cold anymore. Okay, so what he's telling himself is that if people are doing that to me, I'm not going to absorb that energy. I'm not going to go into that feeling of being empty, being left out in the cold, because honestly, I don't want to. And I don't have to, because I have what I have to have in my life. And that's the reason he is also resting in the heart space. Okay, not letting the swords touch him. So whatever it is, whatever the issues are going forward, backward, coming to him, going back from him, moving past him, whatever is happening, he's watching all that. He's listening to his intuition. He is going through all that, but at the same time, he's not participating in that drama. Okay, he's moving away from that drama. He's resting. He's letting it go. I don't want to be left out in the cold. You guys do what you have to. Just leave me alone. That is the kind of energy with these two cards over here in his heart space. And at the same time, he's looking towards building, again, as I said, in the higher self. He's looking towards a Four of Wands energy in the heart space too. He's looking for the teamwork. He's looking towards building up something better. He's looking towards commitment towards this relationship with his Divine Feminine in the heart space. Okay, that's what his heart is moving towards, leaving all these things that is not working for him anymore. He's wanting to build up that beautiful foundation, that beautiful relationship, that commitment of being together, of knowing, of understanding, of sharing each other's life, and for that, at the same time, he also wants to move forward like the Knight of Sword energy. Okay, he is in a rush to build this up. And why? Because he wants the sun in his life back again. He wants that abundance. He wants that prosperity. He wants that foundation of happiness with his loved ones. Okay, so that's in the heart space that he is going through these kind of transformations, where he's looking towards the brighter side of his life, cutting through all the other things that is not serving him anymore and is not going to be serving him anymore. And that's the reason in the heart space he's waiting. He's waiting, he's watching, he's growing spiritually. He is getting more wiser, he's getting more knowledge, he's understanding himself better, as I have said before. He's understanding this divine journey better, sorry. He's understanding this divine journey better. He's understanding the divine feminine better. He is now in that mode where he is not only growing, but he is also waiting, observing, understanding, thinking. Thinking. Why? Because he wants to reach his Nine of Pentacles. This is where he wants to be with his Nine of Pentacle Queen. Okay, I kind of feel it, even though this card is that of the Nine of Pentacle, guys, but it's kind of a feeling for me that this is the Queen of Pentacle, because there's so much of happiness and so much of abundance and so much of prosperity in this card, that it's very similar to one another. Okay, and again, like, this card, the entire card is so beautiful that sometimes I feel like calling it as the Queen of Pentacle. But of course, I mean, it's not the Queen of Pentacle, it's a Nine of Pentacle. And again, if you see the clarification here, he has the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands has come twice, okay, in his heart space. He is, guys, he's moving, okay? He's getting very serious about this relationship. He's getting to understand why and for what and which purpose, or what the destiny has done for him to bring this relationship at his doorstep. Now he is getting the facts right, okay? Good for all of the divine feminines, okay? I feel like saying good job, divine masculine, at the end of this, okay? He's taken a long time, guys, but he's like, I'm sorry, I have to kind of laugh at this, that it's taken so long, because his energy, his vibration levels were so low that he was not able to understand, even though, subconsciously he perhaps realized it, but consciously he could never accept this. Consciously he was always thinking that there is something wrong with him or with his understanding, or that all these things, is just a facade, it's just a mask, this will all disappear in a few days. He could never get this. Now that he is getting all this right now, which is wonderful, okay? In the 3D energy, again, like in the higher self, he wants the Four of Wand energy. This is, again, as I said, the Four of Wand. He, in the 3D too, that is what he's wanting, he's wanting. And that is the reason he's got the next card, which has never come to me before in my reading, for anyone or for the divine masculine, of course. That's a Fountain card. This card is saying that the divine masculine is letting himself be who he is now, which I said earlier. He's not participating in any drama anymore. He's not participating in anything that is not serving his purpose. He's slashing it away like the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords. Okay, he doesn't want any bullshit in his life anymore. He is growing, he's becoming more spiritual. His wisdom is taking the better of him, even in the physical world. Okay, he's not responding, he's not arguing, he's not fighting with anybody. This card is just like that. He's not fighting with anybody, but this is a fountain of wisdom that is coming from within him. And that's why this card is called the Fountain. To be who he is actually meant to be. That's the way I would like to say this. Because why? The reason being that this card can interpret two things, One thing is that he had been fighting for so long to build this Four of Wands in his life. He had been fighting for way too long to bring that stability in his life. That did not happen. That could be one way of looking at it. Or the second way of looking into it is that going forward, this is what he is aiming for, and that is the reason he is doing what he is doing in the mental space, heart space, spiritual place, and in the love place. Okay, he's growing his divine power. He's surrendering his own ego, his own self-belief, his own set ideas to that of spiritualism, to the ways what the spiritual guidance will give him, from where he will have faith and trust as the universe guides him to move into a better direction. That's what this card is all about. And that is the reason in the physical world he's not guiding anybody anymore. He's not telling people what they should do. He's not listening to his own commitments, to his own ideas, to his own teachings, to his own old ways of believing things in the physical world. I got the Hierophant card in the heart space. In the mental space, but that's in the mental space where he's doing that. As I said, the Hierophant card in the mental space, but the way the card has come to me in a very different way. So I read the Hierophant here in the mental space in a different way than what I'm reading the Hierophant in reverse in the 3D energy in a different way. Okay, so therefore in the 3D, in the physical world, he's cutting those beliefs off that had not served him anymore. He's wanting to progress further, opening the box of wisdom, opening the doors that he hadn't opened before. Listening to his own intuition, listening with the clarity of the King of Swords, cutting away all that noise that is not bringing him any result, to finally in the 3D where he can actually do or manifest what he has to do. And that's why in the 3D it's surprising. He has got so much of he's getting so much of spiritual wisdom in himself that he doesn't even want that kind of an extra strength anymore. He's not wanting it, that he used to be wanting before. So because its strength is coming to him from the inside now, he doesn't need the physical strength from the outside world to come to him, because, the inside of his heart, mind, soul, body, everything is becoming more powerful than he could have ever imagined, just because of the Fountain card here. And that's the reason he is the emperor here. He is that strict emperor. He's just not the emperor. I call this man the strict emperor, who is extremely strict with his own philosophy, with his own understanding, with his own wisdom, with his own rules and regulations that he wants to manifest in the physical world. That's the reason. Because right now in the physical world, the cups are in reverse. He doesn't have any fulfillment in the physical world. There is no love for him. There is no joy for him. There is no happiness for him. The relationships that he had once thought would bring him all fulfillment has slowly vanished or is disappearing from his life. He can see that happening. The love that he once thought he would get it, but he didn't know that those people were the wrong people he was looking for love from. That the universe is now slowly taking it away from him or from his world, where he is, of course, feeling that pain, that anxiousness, the anxiety, because he's a human being after all. He knows that love is going away. He knows that love is no longer there. He understands everything. And that's why he feels that pain of it. Of course, it has to happen somewhere deep within him. Somewhere deep within him, he feels that anxiousness. He feels that sorrow. He feels that sadness of the Three of Swords energy as well. There is a heartbreak in the physical world, which is, of course, at the end of the day, moving forward, he is also looking towards a Six of Cups energy, that fulfillment with his divine feminine, leaving all these things behind, leaving all these stories behind by becoming the fool in the actual world, taking the leap of faith, into the unknown land, into the unknown territory, to begin something, to understand this journey with his divine feminine, to culminate the spiritual love into actual physical love in the real world. Beautiful. And again, the last card over here in the physical world, okay, is the Five of Cups. He's been grieving, you know. In the physical world, he has been grieving. And that is also along with that, he's also been learning. His intuitions has been guiding him. His understanding why all these things have happened. His learning lessons are coming back to him. His learning wisdoms are coming back to him. Now he's getting the facts right, guys. He's getting the facts right by all these things, because if I'm not mistaken, he had been blaming himself. He had been blaming situations. He had been blaming circumstances that did not work for him. He had been kind of blaming everything, that has gone wrong in his life. But now he is not, because he's getting into the spiritual fountain of knowledge, of wisdom, choosing learning knowledge over ignorance by being that magician in the 3D as well, where he is manifesting what he has to manifest for his own need, for his own self, by building that commitment, by giving that commitment, by sharing his love with the person he wants to build that beautiful, like I said, to build that beautiful energy of the twin flame journey in this physical world, by waiting for the universe to bring an end to these situations that is not serving him anymore, where he can proceed, where he will be able to proceed with that knowledge towards his divine feminine, towards the love of his life, building up that teamwork, building up, working hard to build that relationship, to move into a better future, leaving the emotional garbage behind, not wanting any of these to happen, because at the end he's looking towards the Ten of Pentacles, that beautiful, where he could actually sit down, rest, relax with the divine feminine, to share his wisdom, his knowledge, his happiness, his fulfillment, his understanding. And that is the ultimate wish in his life that he wants to culminate. Okay, beautiful. I mean, I just, this is like a story, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if I had to shoot a film, something like that, I would have definitely done this. It's such a beautiful journey, and it's coming. It's actually, oh my God, it's like these steps had taken way too long for the divine masculine to finally come here where he's reaching at this point in time. And at the bottom of the Love Angels deck, it says chemistry. There is a strong magnetic attraction here. Okay, that's the bottom of the Love Angels deck. The bottom of the let's see, the sorry, where is my deck here? Okay, yeah, towards the heart space here, the bottom of the deck is his mental space. He's juggling with the right things at the moment, putting things in the right way, getting the facts right, what should be cut out, what should be left, how much he can deal with it, how much he cannot deal with it. What he doesn't want to deal at all will be washed away. Okay, so that's what his mental energy is. And in his heart space, he is building it up. He's learning to work for himself. He's learning to work towards this journey. He's learning to work for the betterment of both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. It's beautiful. It's absolutely wonderful. In the physical world, he's got the Seven of Cups, Now, the Seven of Cups, in many ways, it could be interpreted as he's got many choices, which he has at this point in time. Which option, which door, which lock, which key that he should take to open the right door so that he can walk into this journey in the right possible way with his divine feminine. That's what this card is all about. Now in here, I'm going to take the last card over here. It's It's the goddess guidance. I like to take the goddess guidance. I don't know why, but I just feel that the goddess guidance is very powerful. It kind of gives me that satisfaction when I look into the goddess guidance cards at the end of the reading, just so that we can wind up this beautiful reading. But one thing for sure, ladies and gentlemen, one thing for sure, whoever is listening out to me, the divine masculine has woken up. And that's the best news that can have come to you at this point in time in the month of December 2018, where we are walking slowly into the next year, 2019. And I am not an astrologer, but what I know is that Saturn is the teacher. Saturn is a very powerful planet. I mean, Jupiter is powerful. Saturn, I believe, I'm scared of Saturn. And Saturn in Capricorn is an extremely powerful phase during this year, 2018, 2019, and 2020. And in my understanding, a lot of this twin flame union will happen in 2019 and 2020, whichever vibrations you guys are sitting in. Everybody has their own time and their own journey phase and everything. But these two periods coming up, these 2 years coming up, 19 and 20, will be very crucial years in the twin flame journey, according to my understanding. That's going to bring in a lot of spiritual love, lot of spiritual union, lot of prosperity to both the divine masculine and the divine feminine, who had been going and walking way too long for this union to happen. Okay, so wonderful news, guys. I mean, this reading has kind of jolted me and woken me up, because I did not expect to see what I saw today, and I'm like, wow, really? Is this for true? Or am I just kind of dreaming, But no, this is true. This is the truth, that finally, ladies, everybody, whoever is listening out to me, the divine masculine is getting his facts right. He's getting his knowledge, his understanding, his wisdom. He had been lacking those things for a very long time, And again, it's not his fault. It was the way that destiny had meant to shape him up, Destiny had meant to evolve this journey that is happening in the real world. Now, over here it says, start delegating. Okay, ask others to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. So both this is meant for the divine masculine, Mother Earth. He needs to connect with nature to help himself, and the card of fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. So you see, what this entire reading over here depicts is what the divine masculine is actually manifesting in his world too. And the bottom of the deck says, you have divine knowledge, high priestess, that can help others through your spiritual teaching. Didn't I tell you that his spiritualism is taking the better of him now? And that's the reason why things that were not opened up to him is opening up. And one thing I forgot to tell you, the higher self, the bottom of the deck, is also talking about the same thing, material and spiritual prosperity. Oh, wow. I have nothing more to say, ladies and gentlemen, but it's a beautiful reading. I enjoyed it. I mean, I just really loved it. I loved the energy that came floating to me, and that kind of kindled my spirit. And it's a very nice time to get the spirit rolling, because Christmas is coming and the new year is coming. We are getting into the mood of swinging into the next year, of hoping that things will be more brighter, more prosperous, more abundant in the coming year as well. But I'll see you before that, of course, with another reading as well, and an update for all the love readings that I can manage to catch up before December 15th as well. But for now, this is where I leave you guys with this beautiful news, information. Take what resonates with you, and we'll see you back again. Till then, stay blessed, and God bless you guys.